Got kind of excited being the bad guy. I think I kind of like it. Tired of being a doormat. Wait, can you hear that? It's like I got my feelings back. That's about to get really bad. Oh no 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 no. Oh no 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 no. Hey. Always been my papa's little mistake. I grew up down the street from Spring Lake. Always being SOB, that's not a slight to my mom. You would get it if you understood exactly where I'm coming from. Look, I like to take you out. I like to show you how. It's with the nice guy. We don't really finish last, cause honestly we never race. My main priority is making sure you're ending up in first place. Help you with your training, even help you with your stretching. Help you with your breathing, even down to calisthenics. I'll help you with the timing of your baton pass. I'm not a sweat, I'll be around for every single last standing, cheering in the stands right next to your mom. Make sure everybody knows exactly who is the bomb. I'll be there from the beginning when you finish and cut the ribbon. But as soon as you're winning, you run back to their arms. I don't get it. Oh no 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 no. Oh no 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 no. Hey. Oh no 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 no. Wait. Oh yeah 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 yeah. Hey. I wish I didn't have to be the kind of guy that I always have to be. Tired of taking the high road, bloody nose, and cardboard between my gum and my top lip. Don't even want no more. Ironically, you gave me Golden State in a world of LeBrons. Never treated me like second place. And no disrespect to them, it's just that they were royalty for the team that they were on. But you would have left everything to start a dynasty with me. But unfortunately, I'm just like the racer in the song of which I sing. And I know that there's no erasing my past actions, and you're over it, and that shows your maturity. I just want you to know that I know that back then, I was really effed up. You didn't deserve that. You still don't.
All right, y'all. That was Auto Gajin, one of Stereo's own. In maybe about like 30 minutes or so, when I'm able to change the title and add things, I'm gonna post the link to the Stereo Artist playlist that I created over there on Spotify, so that way, whoever hits the playback, you can also see who else is on that list. You feel me? And listen for yourself. And even if you have Apple Music, you know. All these artists are also on Apple Music, so don't feel like you're left out, okay? If you don't, use Spotify, but you use Apple, it's all good. But this right here, this is Benji Rewind, y'all, okay? And hold on, let me adjust some stuff real quick because I sound weird. Okay. This is Benji Rewind. It's a new season for Stereo. Shout out to that though, you feel me? So for y'all who don't know where Benji Rewind comes from, it was just a spark of an idea I had one day when I realized like I do watch a lot of stuff. I always have since I was a kid. And, because of that, I pay attention to a lot of details within the movie or the show that I'm watching, down to, I don't know, the setting of the scene and a prop, to the hairstyle, to the theme music, to the background music and the specific note that they put in this specific spot and how the camera angle was. Like I look at all like very tiny details, which are also the details that make the production that we end up enjoying. So And I also love old Hollywood and all those kinds of things. So that's kind of like, the background on where my insight comes from, or at least how I look at things. As far as like adding to the insight and explaining that, I look at movies and I look at film production with a broader brush, if that makes sense. So what I don't do is just watch anything for just superficial value. So it's not like, so for example, right, just last night on unapologetically unsupervised with Bex Million. Okay, so that's our new show. And so we were talking about Garbage Pail Kids, and I was talking about the movie, and the description of the movie according to Google says one thing, right? And says it was like creepy and there was something else that it said that it was, but it was a negative light, right? And then of course I looked at it like, I don't know, you can call it angel's advocate. I don't care, whatever you want to insert right there. But I was like, yeah, but it taught you about business and it taught you that child labor is wrong. Cause it really did. And I don't know, maybe even back then as a kid, I just looked at things quite differently. You feel me? And so, I meant to turn this back up because the playlist that I made has all their music on it. I just want to make sure y'all can hear that. Okay. But hear me too. Anyway, so just in me looking at the movie, even back then, and that was my perspective, because that's where my brain went to. Like, I don't know, I guess even naturally, I just, compare it to other aspects of life and what I've seen, what I've absorbed and applied, and then what have I experienced myself, right? So it all goes together, okay, and comes full circle. So that's why I'm able to dissect movies and TV shows and kind of understand from a production standpoint on why a director may have made this decision, why the producer, did this, or how this made this much money compared to this, and all those other factors that maybe some people don't even think about because it's just not a factor. It's not something common to just think about other than, you know, what you see and what you hear based on the trending social media opinions. And then you either regurgitating or you're, influenced by that to make your own decision, So I don't know. I just do things differently. The other reason of where this brainchild came from, to give you some background, is I also used to watch a show called Siskel and Ebert. Okay, they were movie review guys, and they sat next to each other every, I think it was like every Friday or Saturday night. It might have been even Sunday. I just know it was in the weekend. Okay. And they used to sit next to each other every weekend and they would talk about the movies that were out and some movies that were coming up. And they would break them down. And then they would give you either a one thumbs up, one thumbs down, or two thumbs up or two thumbs down. Like that was it. A 30-minute show just dedicated to film. And I was fascinated by that. I thought that was super dope, right? Okay, similar to how I got into radio. I'm starting to notice a pattern about myself, but that's another conversation for another day. Now, and watching that show, Siskel and Ebert, and then me deciding that, hey, you know what? I think I want to do that. Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, I think that's what it was. Something was too high. Okay, so even in that moment right there, and watching them for 30 minutes, dedicating their lives to film, I'm like, I want to do that too, right? So I was already talking to people just in general about, oh, did you watch this? Oh, did you watch that? And so one day I was like, why don't I just turn this into a show? Like, yeah, I should totally do that. And so, yeah, here we are. Binge and Rewind. And what's interesting is like my microphone is acting up because I can hear it buzzing in my ear. I don't know if y'all can hear it. I'm hoping not. But if you do, excuse the technical difficulties because I may have to actually switch out this cord. So listen to Otto while I switch this out.
Hear the story of how this town ain't big enough for the both of us. We got family and friends, acquaintances and kin. They won't pick a side. You stay on yours, and I'll try to stay on mine. And I'll scream my love you from afar. Can you tell the fatness of my heart?
Okay, let me see here. All right, so that was Otto Gajin right there. That was Heals of Blackness Part 1. All right. So that's who's playing right now. Okay, but anyway, so hey, what's up, y'all? What it do? What up, Donna? Big Daddy? Postmaster, Bunny J, Crazy Cow. Oh, Crazy Crow. I can't read. What? That may be the way they talk. Mm-hmm. Interesting though that Crazy Crow has a squirrel for the PTR. Just as weird. Just as weird. But wanted to talk. So shout out to Crazy Crow. Y'all just understand this. You listening to other platforms, this is stereo. So you never know what you're gonna get sometimes when you play a voice message, which is why you gotta download stereo on your Android or iPhone and make your avatar as you see fit. Follow me, E-Read, aka Melanin Seduction. And then yeah, you see how that goes. Oh, I had to turn the mic around. My bad. You hear me? Is that better? I hope so. All right. So back to what I was saying. Uh, so then I was, already talking to people about what what I was watching, suggesting things. But it wasn't until my cousin, okay, my cousin's husband. So he's still my cousin, right? That's what I call him. And so the show on Netflix, Money Heist. Okay, I had been telling them about this show for the longest because I know, like, once I get a feel of what kind of a viewer you are and what your taste, your genre taste is, I can kind of feel you out, and kind of, suggest things that might work for you, right? So Money Heist came out and I think it was like maybe like the first season, but I think by this time it was maybe like in the half of the second season, right? And he had stumbled across it on his, scrolling or whatever. And when I go over to their house one day, he's like, he was like, Erica, did you see Money Heist? Have you seen that? Have you heard? I was like, yes, I told y'all about that. Cause it's right up your alley. Like, this is what you like. And and it's in small increments. It's a series. You don't have to like binge it if you don't want to. You can take it piece by piece. You can even pause it and pick up where you left off and not feel like you didn't, missed out or anything or you forgot something. Like, it's a really good film. I mean, it's a really good show. And mind you, I think the show was originally from Spain, and it wasn't a big hit out there in its first season. And so Netflix picked it up. And then that's where we got the sensation of Money Heist. So if you know, you know. If you don't, you better catch on to it. And if you like Korean TV, they do have a Korean version on Netflix. It's very similar to the Spain version, even to down to the narration. of the main character. So all I'm saying is like if you're into it, you're into it. If you're not, then no love lost. You feel me? Okay. So anyway, so he was telling me he was fine. He was telling me that he liked it and he, was really into it. And so you got to understand something about this particular cousin where when he's excited about a show, it's all in. Like it is tune in every week if it's a weekly show. Like we are dissecting it. We are having a real thorough conversation. So the fact that he's on board for a money heist, I'm like, yes, that's it. Bet. Got him on board. Then got him on board. Then got my cousin, his wife, my blood cousin, got her on board. Like, cause she was working like crazy heavy at the time, but from home. So she would like every now and then look up from her computer, and try and follow along, and like have it playing in the background. That's part of the reason why I suggest to y'all when I'm reviewing stuff and what could be background noise, because some things you can't just listen to it, just like here on stereo. You feel me? Where you be doing something and there's something going on. You can't see what's happening. You can only listen and visualize with your imagination. So that's, it's a thing. It's a thing. So after that whole situation happened, and then, me just sitting thinking and being in a creative mindset, like I was like, oh, binge and rewind. Because you can binge and then you do be rewinding stuff. And I thought it was nice. I liked it. So I put it together and I made it work. Okay. So here we are, new season for stereo. I'm really excited, because for sure there's going to be a different format. It's still going to be the format of, I'm going to be giving suggestions and breaking things down and all that kind of stuff. However, for a conversation or just to hear what I think about one particular show versus the Cliff Note version that I'm going to provide in, the Gumbo Pot show, like you're going to have to follow me on Spotify for that one, or wherever platform you listen to podcasts, really. Because at this stage of the game, you can put up a podcast on pretty much, any platform that's going to distribute it for you so that you're not having to actually do all the work yourself. You just boom, boom, that's it. No different than like DistroKid and all of that for music artists and them wanting to get their stuff distributed in other platforms. So there's that. Okay, so that is the history of Binge Rewind. This is going to be the new format. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you do have suggestions, please let me know. And if you want to do watch parties, I'm open to watch parties. If you watch something that I watched and you want to have a panel about it, I'm more than open to it. Just keep it in mind that the panel conversations will be downloaded and they will be uploaded to other platforms for people to hear. So, for example, the conversation I had with RJ about that series on Netflix that he suggested to me, right? Because it was on my list, but it wasn't on my priority list. You know what I'm saying? So given that that's where it was sitting at, I wasn't really pressed to watch it. It was a whole lot of content out this summer. A whole lot of content from the movie theaters to streaming services. It was a boatload of content. Even I feel like it was more content this summer than it was during COVID. Like, I ain't gonna hold you. And I kept up with a lot of stuff during COVID. But this right here, a little bit tough. And that's even with including the traveling that I was doing, which doesn't hinder it really, for the simple fact that I be watching stuff on the plane, like hey, if I can watch it, I'm gonna watch it, Anywho, so where did I leave off at? Okay, because y'all know I'll be having scroll moments. Anyway, so that's where, the show Sex Life that RJ, aka Hennessy Poppy here on stereo, make sure, anybody's name I mention, make sure you follow them. Okay? When you make your avatar after you didn't download a stereo on your Android or iPhone. Okay? Yeah, that part. All right. So the conversation that we had, it was a really good conversation, even though in typical format on anything that I do, sometimes we're going to digress and go a different direction, probably talk a little bit about something different than what it is. But you know what? At the end of the day, like we're still going to come back full circle. So that's what that conversation was. I think it's just over 2 hours. It was a really good conversation. So it is uploaded on it's uploaded right now on YouTube for sure. So it's uploaded right now on YouTube. And then I'm actually working on an intro, because shout out to your 310 boy. He sent me some instrumentals so that I can figure out how I want to do my intro. Because unlike a lot of people, I don't have an intro for Binge and Rewind. I've been asking, ain't nobody providing, so I'm gonna do it myself. You dig? I'm gonna do it myself. You feel me? I'm kind of used to this, but you gotta, you just gotta do it yourself. You feel me? But it's all good. It ain't no love lost. Cause I think maybe that's just something that's meant for me to do. Cause maybe that's another avenue that might open up some point. You feel me? And shout out to Project Pook, because Project Pook, okay, so for y'all who are not on stereo, Project Pook is a content creator here on stereo, and we just had the Stereo Battle Royale Awards, okay? And if you want to know what those are, you got to download stereo. So, anyway, he did a lot of intro music for people, and it was a really cool, dope ass collaboration. I ain't gonna hold you. Them songs was slapping. Them was some bops. Them was definitely some bops. So I'm just looking at it like, okay, well, fine then. Let me see what I can do though. Cause I used to dibble and dabble making beats and stuff. You feel me? So yeah. So that's where we at. Um, so that is the breakdown of BNR. And make sure you follow the hashtag here on stereo or any other social media platform. Make sure you follow the hashtag if you see it, or if and when you see it, because I definitely there's somewhere I want to go with this, and I want y'all to go along on the ride with me. But if you don't follow the hashtag and you don't follow me, you're gonna be left in the dust. You won't get the BTS. You know what I'm saying? BTS, aka behind the scenes. All right. So speaking of behind the scenes, let's just get into the review stuff. Now that I done got the whole introduction out the way and all of that, like everybody on the same page, you feel me? So here's what it is. Let me pull up my list. Cause like I said, there was a lot of content this summer in the movie theaters and on TV from all the streaming services. Okay. And the biggest breakout streaming service started this summer was Tubi. Tubi was the most talked about streaming service all summer. The most talked about. And what's crazy is Tubi has been out. But it also goes to show the power of influence of a program. Because if I'm not mistaken, Tubi had a bunch of commercials, a bunch of random commercials that carried on even after when the Super Bowl happened. The Super Bowl is when? In February? Right? February. Right? And it was in the summertime where I heard the most about Tubi. Because I think their promotion was with a giant bunny or something like that, right? Yeah. And that's what I remember, because I remember when I was looking at the commercials, I was like, what is that? Now I've heard of Tubi, but I didn't connect the big giant rabbit to the streaming service. So yeah, I'm just saying, it's the power of influence is amazing. But I guess it goes hand in hand when it comes to movies and television and any kind of content or product. Like, it all plays a part, right? So this summer, I went to the movies a lot. Okay. I took advantage of that 3 movies a week thing. I may not have went 3 times a week at AMC, but I definitely went more than 3 times in a month. For sure. And sometimes I even went back to back to go watch something. So for y'all who are not aware, AMC has a premium, they have a premium service where you can pay, I think with taxes, like $26 a month or something, give or take. And you can watch up to 3 movies a week. You get discounts on certain like you get a discount on the, what is it, the ticketing fee or whatever, if you go, buy more tickets outside of your 3 free for the week. um you get discounted on that. You get free upgrades on your popcorn and drinks if that's your thing. You get, a special gift on your birthday. You don't have to wait in line for anything. So just imagine in those moments where there's a huge movie coming out, it's opening weekend, there's a long line or whatnot, and you have the AMC Premium Plus thing. All you got to do is go straight up to the counter, bypass all them people in line. You go straight up to the counter, you have your phone out, and whether you're clicking it on it through text message or through the app or whatever, they'll scan it, tell you where to go, give you your glasses if you're watching a 3D movie or whatever, and then you go about your business and you done missed all of that. Because even people who buy tickets online got to stand in line. However, if you have the AMC Premium thing, you don't have to do none of that. And I ain't gonna hold you. Like when it comes to certain people that I'm surrounded by, that is a factor, okay, to where you don't have to stand in line. Stand in line for what? Like, I did not pay for all of this to have to stand in line. Like, no, we're not doing it. So I'm just saying it plays a part. Anyway, so I went to the movies a lot this summer, and then the movies and TV shows on the streaming services, there was so much, it was kind of challenging to keep up. So the summer list is what I'm still working on. I'm not even gonna hold you. So today we are going to talk about the most recent things that I have watched, because that summer list, I'm still dissecting it, because when I went back to go look to see all the movies I watched, and then I looked to see um the different series that were on this summer that I kind of like sped through and watched, especially like some of them crime stuff. Like I was like, oh yeah, that's a lot. Now, and I didn't always like take notes every time, because sometimes I get lost in the sauce of the production too, and I'm not taking notes. You feel me? I am thoroughly just enjoying and being in the moment of things, right? And so that means that if I realize that I've gotten lost in the moment because the production was just that good and had me involved, then I have to go back and watch it again and like pick up on things that maybe I wasn't really paying attention to, because I was just so into the character. I was so into the story. Like it happens, it really does happen. So uh that's what we gonna do right now. And so yes, I think now I can be able to change part of the title so that y'all can follow along with me. For those who hit the playback, you can follow along, and that way you can you know speed up, slow down, whatever you want to do. You feel me? If it's a movie like I don't want to talk about that, I don't want to hear the spoilers, you could just skip that part. You just pass over it. So yeah, there's that. That way everybody happy, and the the job has been done and the mission has been accomplished. All right. So while I am getting ready to do all of that, listen to a little bit more of Otto. And yeah, this song right here is another one of his tracks off of the album that he did, I think about a year ago. And this one's called Fall.
Always been a rolling stone with too sharp of edges, getting caught in and caught up on all the branches, all the beautiful trees who reach out to me, and then ironically they always have to leave, and I fall for seasons without knowing the reasons why I'm all alone. Yeah, I fall for seasons without knowing the reasons why I'm just a rolling stone with too sharp of edges, who gets caught in and wrapped up in all the roots of the problems from what they were doing. But I'm the only person chilling your garden, so I'm the one you're blaming. And I fall for seasons without knowing the reasons why I'm all alone. Yeah, I fall for seasons without knowing the reasons why I'm so wrong. Left all alone to just keep on rolling. Hey, can I stay here for a while?
Shout out to Otto. Just saying. Shout out to Otto. So that was Otto Gajin. You can follow him on Spotify or Apple Music if you're not following him on social media. But yes, so the playlist that you are going to be hearing in the background are artists from right here on Stereo. It's a playlist that I made, and yeah, and shout out to Junkie Dave coming out with a new single on September 22nd. Just saying. Um, this is him right here.
Yeah, I'm sure. Can we talk for a minute? I just want to speak my mind and get this off of it. Did you take a look inside? I've been battling the same situation for several years, and whenever we disagree, you just up and disappear. And it's sad because my daughter reaps the repercussions of it. I wanna be there, but you keep moving further away. You complain your old life, keep on following you. If you looking for something different and you the one gotta change, I'm just saying, you live in this repetitious insanity the whole while. You don't see who all of this is damaging. Another little girl growing up without a dad again. I see the way you handle it, and it gets me mad again. Try to keep my emotions in check, but I got a bad memory. Every now and then I tend to forget. Forgive me, I don't mean to sound like I'm coming off with disrespect.
That's Junkie Dave right there. So make sure you following him. That song is called Off of My Chest. What's going on, cutting up? What it do, damn it?
Shout out to Milton Bradley.
Wait a minute. I need that again in my life.
Shout out to Milton Bradley.
I'm totally making that my alarm sound. I am. I'm definitely gonna do that. I'm so serious. Listen, if y'all don't know where that came from, you gotta go back and listen to the show Bex and I did yesterday. The show we did yesterday, Unapologetically Unsupervised. You have to go back and listen to it, because we went down a straight rabbit hole, and cutting up was cutting up. Yo, we was laughing so hard. For real though, like shout out to everybody who showed up and pulled up to that show, because I went and listened to the playback. I rebroadcasted it, and I'm saying like I rebroadcasted it on AMP, and like people was in there, and it like they liked it. So I mean, shout out to y'all, because that show was so much fun.
I like when we make a stereo playlist. Shout out to Junkie Dave. Hey, E-Reed, random fucking smokes. Okay, sorry, I got excited. Hey, I got a show that I'm gonna tag you in. I want to know if you've been watching it. Have you heard of it? Shit. I just got so excited about hearing about the music. I forgot the name of the show just that fast. Fuck. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Okay, yeah, come back, because I need no dumber. Okay, so Love and Marriage, Detroit. Okay, so this is a show that is put together by Carlos King. He was a producer over there on the Atlanta Housewives. That's where he got his start, and then he just evolved from there. And then now he has his own production company called I think it's like Kingdom. I think it's called Kingdom Reign, and he is the creator for what was it, the Diva show, R&B Divas. That was, y'all remember R&B Divas with Kelly Price? Yeah, that one. He's responsible for that. Oh, I'm like, am I holding this microphone? So he's responsible for that. He's responsible for Love and Marriage Huntsville, Love and Marriage DC, Love and Marriage Detroit. All right. And then he also has a YouTube channel. He also has a podcast where he interviews different housewives from different franchises and other people in the reality TV world. So if that is your thing, check him out. Okay, so there's that. Shameless plug for him. Anywho, Love and Marriage Detroit is his new franchise show, which is a spinoff from the flagship show Love and Marriage Huntsville. Now, some people you may not have heard some of the players, but I mean, like, know who the players are on Huntsville, but you may have, like, I don't know, through, if you pay attention to bloggers and stuff like that, maybe you heard of like Melody Holt, Martell Holt, the Marceau and his brother, like Maurice, and like the orgies and the cheating and the Atlanta trip. Like there's a whole bunch going on. It's a whole bunch going on. Okay. Now, Love and Marriage Detroit is the Detroit is the hometown for Carlos King. And what he wanted to do, just like with the other shows, was he wants to put in the face of the people, us, the audience, that there are Black families that are successful, that are about love, that yes, they have conflict, but they work it out. They have a friend group that shows up for each other, that love on each other, that support one another, even if they may feel some kind of way. They have a dialogue when there is an issue. They may even get into a physical altercation, but given the time, when you give things time and you do some self-reflection or some group reflection, sometimes things can, the tide can change. So that is what he does, and that's what he shows on screen with these couples. So this is the reason why I like reviewing these shows, because I feel like for the most part, from what I observe, is these shows only get highlighted when it comes to like the negative stuff and the chaos. You feel me? Not so much as highlighting like there's chaos in everybody's lives. Everybody got issues. Everybody go through stuff. You know what I mean? It's about how you get through those things to the other side, and if it mold you into somebody better, or does it deteriorate you into somebody that you really don't want to be, that you then later have to redeem yourself from because you wanted to stand 30 toes down on being wrong. You get to see some people literally start from the ground up. You feel me? Like Martell Holt, him and Melody were in a marriage. Apparently at this stage of the game, I think they both cheated, but Melody is really trying to make it seem like that she didn't cheat, and she wants to argue semantics and like whatever, and like, no, it wasn't me. I really think she did cheat. There's no way that I feel like, given how she has, I'm not even talking about her. Hold on, pause.
It was Fatal Seduction. Damn, that shit slipped my head. Have you seen this? Now, first thing about it, I love watching an all-black cast. Ain't got nothing to do with struggle, but it's got like suspense and murder and lots of sex. And the storyline is actually really good, but it's not over yet and coming back with another season. Have you seen Fatal Seduction on Netflix? Are you into it? But it's based off of in Africa, right? Come on. Tell me you watched it or watching it or will watch it. The shit getting good.
No, you know what? That is on my list. Okay, because I had to, when you said Africa. Because you know what? I like watching them African shows. I like watching the African shows. They be interesting. Hold on, I'm looking up now. Because I know, why do they do this? Fatal. There we go. Yep. 14 episodes. Oh, and they only 30 minutes apiece. Girl, I was just scrolling. You know how they give you what's new? I was just scrolling and I seen this little black girl with her little afro puffs. Yeah, I'm here for it. Okay, we can watch it. Let me know if you want to do a watch party or if you want to do a panel. We could do either one. We could do both. I'm down for it either way. Like, I got time for it. It's the seduction for me. All right, so, and the fact that Junkie for You was playing in the background, that was interesting timing. Okay, so Love and Marriage Detroit, because I started branching off into Love and Marriage Huntsville, and that season ain't even started back up again yet. Like, it's gonna be a juicy season when it start back up again, but it ain't happened yet. So be on ready for a roller coaster. Love and Marriage Detroit just ended, and they just finished out their reunion show. And this was their first season. And what's always interesting about first seasoners is how they always try to make me like be all prissy and pretty and cute and be like, the camera's looking at me, so let me give my best representative. Is this my good side? Is this it? Should I turn like this? Pause, turn, spin, twirl. Should I do this? So that's what they do. And I feel like the production team loves it, right? Because they're able to get really good content out of these people, right? And the dynamic between the friend groups, what I love about them is their foundation in faith and their belief. So if this rubs people the wrong way and what I'm getting ready to say, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I'm gonna need you to get over it, okay? Because everybody chooses to believe what they believe, and we're not gonna go back and forth about if what somebody believes is wrong or whatever the conspiracy theory you want to ride on is. That's not what this is. So they believe in God, they believe in the Bible, they believe in Jesus Christ is the Lord and Savior, okay? And that is their foundation that holds them strong. They read the Bible every morning. One of the castmates is actually in transition to become a pastor. You know, the other two husbands are in the music industry, and they have studios and they do showcases and things of that nature. And then two of the wives are major influencers in Detroit, and the third wife, what does she do? I don't know what she does. I think she's more of a corporate person. I think she's a corporate chick. Like, now that I think about it, because most of the season really just focused on the two influencers, because they was like beefing with each other low key, and one of them thinks the other one is copying off of them and tried to snake them, out of a contract or whatever. It was a silly argument, but I understand it given the fact that they're both in the same lane. Well, they're both on the same freeway. However, one of their lanes is more established than the other one. And I think the one who feels like their lane is more established than the other one feels inferior to that. That's what I really think is going on. And and then also, like, she likes to play victim and stuff like that. So, a lot of y'all don't know who I'm talking about, right? So let me just give y'all the names of the people. So I'm gonna look up their names, give y'all their names, and then we gonna hear Tammy out. What up, Ramska?
I just tagged you, E-Read, on my post.
Okay.
Anybody else who be into TV as much as I do like this, but I tagged you on the trailer that I just swiped. Yeah, man, this shit is getting so juicy and so good. And again, I don't know. I need more all black cast where it's not based off because they crackheads or racist type shit. I like it just because they're just being them, and then they have their own trials and tribulations and the suspense, the murder, the lies, the deceit, the sex. Baby, get into it.
Oh, look, I'm gonna start that today. Then I got time, because what is today? Today is Wednesday. So after this, I'm gonna watch a little bit, and I will watch it before I go. I will get involved before I go get the little one. You feel me? And then watch it until it's time to do the show with the girls tonight on Station Head. Ladies first. Everybody's invited. Pull up. Okay. So here are the players for Love and Marriage Detroit. Okay, Russell and Kobe. All right, the Harrises. Brandon and Christina, the Smiths, and Anthony. Oh, she's a doctor. Oh, snap, she's a doctor. Okay, Anthony and Dr. LaToya Thompson. Now it's just a matter of what kind of doctor is she. Okay, so these are so Russell and Kobe. Okay, Kobe is the influencer I was just talking about, where I feel like she feels inferior to Christina and the following that Christina has over Um, wait, hold on. I don't think I have that right. I think that might be backwards. I'm not even gonna hold you. I think that actually might be backwards. Cause Kobe Cat, no. Kobe has the one with the more followers, and Christina thinks that Kobe is the one that should actually be kind of like be influenced by her. So Christina, she ended up getting a working out a deal with someone or whatever, and I guess in that same person was gonna work out a deal with Kobe, right? And uh her husband, Christina's husband, Brandon, all right. Now, mind you, I really feel like they wanted to focus on Kobe because they didn't want nobody to focus on their marriage, which I'm starting to see is definitely a pattern with people, especially in those kinds of marriages, you know? And I'll tell you why in a second. But fast forward version of the whole situation between Kobe and Christina. Okay. So they, like I said, they both are on the same freeway. One person's lane is more established than the other. Kobe's is more established than Christina is, but I think Christina's been doing it longer or whatever. And she feels like, she should be the big dog on campus, I guess you could say. Right. And so therefore she, does pillow talking to her husband, and her husband one day in a public setting, okay, when these two women were engaging in this conversation on how one feels about the other, right? Brandon's gonna blurt out and be like, "Oh, you're a Kobe cat. I just feel like you're being a Kobe cat." So of course it's like, wait, first of all, why is a man getting in the middle of these two women's conversation? Because no other husband that was standing around got involved. No one. Brandon did. He inserted himself, made a comment that could only have come from a conversation that him and his wife may have had. Right. And this is why I look at, not Kobe, Christina, I look at her side eye and I understand why others look at her side eye. Because she's giving Drew Sidora, like from Atlanta Housewives, she's giving Drew Sidora vibes. Okay. Like you are, like what does she do? What's the best way to describe how Christina does this? So Christina will emotionally react to a situation, right? And in her reaction, and due to her high pitched voice, like it's very whiny sounding, and then she uses words that like kind of depict her as being like a victim of some sorts, right? Unless she's gonna flat out just pull the victim card. All right. And then as she's having this entire meltdown and all this other kind of stuff or whatever, then she uses certain things where it's like, now I'm finna zing you with like a backhanded comment, or I'm just finna say something disrespectful, right? All while still playing the victim. And then doesn't want to be held accountable for those actions when after she's, maybe calmed down or whatever. And now it's like, oh, let's have a conversation. You feel me? Like, miss me with all that. And she didn't just do it. She doesn't just do it like with her husband. She did it with other people within the group, So getting back to Kobe and Christina, right? So that's why Christina doesn't like Kobe, because Kobe is making an impact, just I guess maybe a little bit harder than her. So I feel like she feels some kind of way. Kobe ain't pressed. And congratulations to Kobe, because we found out she was pregnant. So congratulations to that. And I think at some point they're going to make amends, but I don't think things will ever be the same between them. I really don't. I don't think it'll ever be the same. Now, when it comes to Christina and her husband, Brandon. Now, Brandon, here's where it get juicy, okay? Because Brandon has a studio and he does artist development, right? How good he is, I don't know. Ain't never heard of him. But there's a lot of people on, in the world that I ain't never heard of until they're in my face. So there's that, right? So he has a history, okay, of grooming an artist and then getting close to an artist. Now, there hasn't been evidence leaked out that he actually had an inappropriate affair physically, but he did have an emotional one. And he confided into the artist some things, because which I do know, I do understand happens. Like when there is artist development, you do have to get to know the artist. You have to understand intimate details about them. And you can get lost in the moment, and the line can be, because the line is very, very thin, it can be crossed to where, you might start sharing things about yourself too. And I want to believe that Brandon just had a slip up in that kind of a moment. And he may have said and shared something that he should not have shared, but because of the feeling at the time, it came out and it just went away. However, the evidence in how he behaves on camera with his wife and his attitude when he's not around his wife, and even at the reunion, like, it's giving for the cameras. After I done seen myself act a fool, I'ma go ahead and back up my wife and we gonna be cool, right? I'm gonna make it look good. I'm gonna make it do what it do, because this could hinder me in the long run, right? However, I really don't think he like his wife. I think there's some sort of resentment there, but I don't know what that is. But what I do like about this couple is this. There was a moment of communication, real authentic communication, where the wife told her husband that because your mom raised you the way that she raised you, you do not acknowledge feelings. So if you don't even acknowledge your own feelings, you're not going to acknowledge my feelings. And that snowballed into him, deciding to go to therapy, not just for him, but for him and his mom. And so there was all this emotional breakthrough. So what I will say this, given the fact that their marriage seems a little rocky, I really think it is definitely more textured than what they're giving and what they're willing to divulge, which is why I feel like people are starting to call them fake, because you're giving us vague increments of what's going on in your marriage versus this is your time and opportunity to just lay it all out on the line and share everything that you can within the season, so we can know who you are, versus doing this and then we're gonna have to work backwards. You know what I mean? Like, it just hit different.
I wonder if it's a free reign that you don't know about their relationship with their wives. Maybe they're trying to have free reign of each other's life and not be bound by not be bound.
That could be it, and that's what I'm hoping. Like, shout out to you, Crazy Crow, because that's what I'm trying to get to the bottom of. Like, I think a lot of us viewers, we want to know, like, what is it, and if it look, if it's free reign, I don't think I know for sure she don't want that. And for him, I don't think he wants that. I just think he doesn't. I think because he has a deficit in his emotional intelligence due to his upbringing, he's not able to, not only access those feelings, but then even know how to use those feelings and then even share them in the appropriate moments. So it's kind of like freedom reign with emotions, where, it's just shooting everywhere, like an automatic gun. It's like, whoever gonna hear me in the moment, I'm just gonna, verbal vomit that out, so maybe that's the connection. I'm hoping to find out for season 2. Hoping in season 2. But like I said, I did like how not just the wife standing up for herself. And now, mind you, she did say something wrong, as far as, like, I don't think it's ever okay for a wife to tell her husband, like, you're not the only one who can have me, or something like that, she said. But I think that's a slap in the face, and I think it's disrespectful. However, her talking to her husband and saying, like, this is what I need from you, and this is how I think you got here, and him actively listening, though. So it's the active listening and then going off of the listening and receiving what she said in love and then going to the root of where the problem stems from and actively showing on camera, working it out. That all happened in one season. I have watched shows where it takes up to 2 seasons for the husband to listen to the wife to then actually go to therapy. Like, it takes the wife to do something super dramatic for the husband to be like, okay, well, I'll go, and they handle that all into one season. And I commend that couple for that. Even though I look at, Christina a little side eye, and I look at Brandon a little side eye as individual people and how they deal with their friends and their inner circle. That's one thing. But to be completely unbiased and be fair, right? I can definitely appreciate how they work as a couple to make it work, because that's not always seen on camera, especially when it comes to Black couples. So again, that's why I like Carlos King, okay? Because he puts it out there. All right, so then let's go back to Kobe and Russell. All right. Like I said, Kobe is an influencer out there in Detroit. She's making a big name for herself and doing what she do. And Russell, he is transitioning into becoming a pastor, and he also, I think he is a personal trainer or something, I think. But anyway, their relationship we didn't see a lot of, but what we did see was that their issue was about communication. And her stance is, the wife's, Christina's stance is, don't make decisions without me. Like, just don't jump the gun like that, especially if it's something that is going to involve our entire family. Like, don't do that, and talk to me about it. Because what he wanted to do was he wanted to buy a gym. And so instead of saying, like, he brought it up to her, I guess, like months ago before they started filming. But while they were filming, it was all of a sudden like it's just a random thought of a conversation to, yeah, I'm going to meet with the gym owner to go discuss numbers. Wait, what? How did we get here? I ain't gonna hold you. I would do the same thing. Shout out to Pluto Polly. That's who's playing right now. Shout out to Pluto. Hold on.
I gotta get it back, and it's Louis V buckle, so I'm never gonna sack. Man, I get the cash, man, I get the back. And if I'm talking to the feds, man, I don't know what happened. Let's be honest, we all know your ass is capping when you rapping. You ain't really posted in the streets, you isn't trapping. You from the burbs.
Hey, shout out to Pluto Polly though. Okay, so so he ends up meeting with the guy or whatever to go talk about numbers, and then he has another meeting that he just brings up on her, and then after that meeting he then ends up coming back to her and saying like, yeah, after that last meeting I had with them, yeah, I don't think that's gonna work out. And she said, if you had come to me to begin with, you wouldn't even have to go through all of that. And I think that's fair. I think maybe there's something that he wants for himself. Because I can't say that I've observed that about men. Now here's something Steve Harvey wasn't lying about, and was actually on point about. Like, there are certain things a man identifies himself as, depending on certain things. And one of those things is work, how their family is, their money. There's certain things, there's certain factors that make them feel a certain kind of way. Like when some men get laid off, right, from their jobs, or they're forced to retire, they might be a little grumpy. They might be. It's not being hangry. They're grumpy. They're mad because part of their identity is gone. That's who they saw themselves as. And maybe, just maybe, right, because he is being obedient to God's word and God revealing to him that, yes, you need to become a pastor, right? That's him submitting to God's will. But that's not his. That's God's will. His family. It's his, but he shares it with his wife. So what's something that's his? So I think that's what it is. I really think that's what it is. And I understand where Christine is coming from. Like, just let me know. I just think what I'm hoping is the just letting me know means let me know, but this is your brainchild and your baby that you're gonna raise. If you need me to babysit, I'll babysit. Just your baby. So, and I think they give me that kind of couple vibes. They do. Like the love they show on screen is so adorable. It's like real couple goals. I ain't gonna hold you. It's like real couple goals. It's really cute. I love it. Okay, so that's it about Kobe and Russell. Kobe and Russell, they weren't too much of like they were a talk, but not like the Smiths were. Not like them. So Anthony and Dr. Latoya. So Anthony is also into artist development and has, does showcases and stuff like that, networking, everything. And then Dr. Latoya, I don't know what she's a doctor of. I was today years old when I realized she was a doctor. So there's that. And I watched the whole season. But and now that I think about it, I do remember in their introduction, he was like, yeah, I got a doctor, y'all, or something like that. So I just don't know exactly what kind of doctor she is. Because, with Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone, we know they're, OBGYN gynecologists. We know them. You feel me? So we know what they do. And then, of course, there's Dr. Heavenly. We know she work with your mouth, which is interesting because all she do is run her mouth. Shout out to Dr. Heavenly. So, yeah, Anthony and Dr. Latoya, so their thing wasn't so much of, what Toya wanted from Anthony, but it was more so what Anthony felt like he needed at the time when there was an opportunity to work with Marvel in another state for several months. And the transition that happened for Dr. Latoya and being an acting, at that time, an acting single parent and her children going through racism situations in the Detroit school system and her having to navigate through that on her own. That was the main part of their storyline. And what I thought was very loving was and just how like confident Anthony was in sharing that. Cause that's very non-typical for a Black man to show that much vulnerability in the first season. Like set alone, just alone in being that vulnerable, but then being that vulnerable on camera, in your first season where the viewers are going to chew you out. They're going to dissect everything. Like when these shows are on, just go on Twitter. Just go on Twitter and watch the feed. I be in there. Look, some of us, we be in there talking. We be in there, like it be petty comments and it be observation comments and everything like that. Like the first season is typically the toughest season because that's the one you're most judged on. And I believe the second season that you're most judged on is definitely, I would say, the third season. Because it's almost like, okay, the first season, okay, do what you're going to do. You might stumble, you might trip, you might fall. You go to the reunion, you say, I don't like that about myself. I'm working on myself. So typically what happens is the viewers will give a pass on the second season. Because we want to see if you change. All that you was talking at the reunion. Because the reunions are done months after they finish filming. Okay? So that they can see the season 2, while we're watching the season. Okay. So it's like, okay, by season 2, it's like, all right, bet, let's see how you make this work. Now, if at the reunion, you still screaming the same thing, or now you're justifying your actions. Oh yeah. By the third season, it's gung ho. It's the wild, wild west, baby. For real though. It's open season at that point. It is open season. because that's just not how it works. Especially Carlos King's support viewers. Like, it's brutal. It's absolutely brutal. There is no holds barred. All right. So that is Love and Marriage Detroit. And I broke them down a little bit more specifically and took more time out on that. Just because it was their first season, and I wanted to make sure I didn't just breeze through and not highlight what I think is a challenge in these marriages, but also what I really enjoy seeing as the successes and the growth of it all. You know, because like what I was saying about Anthony and being vulnerable like that on camera, and him being a black man and a dark black man at that. Okay, I'm gonna put it out there for you colorists, because I know colorists listen to podcasts too. You feel me? But yeah, and for him to do that, so there's that. You know, uh, and I was just proud to see that moment, and that he was comfortable doing it, and then also going to his father-in-law and sharing with his father-in-law about how the family's reaction to what he thought was a great decision to move the family forward, and how he felt that they were just jumping on his case and not seeing the bigger vision, you know, and it being received in that, and there being an understanding. So it's the healing for me, you know, it's the healing. And we don't always see that when it comes to these black TV shows, especially in reality TV. So everything is not VH1. Okay? Everything is not arguing and ratchet and twerking and all of that. Now, I ain't gonna say some of these ladies don't get down, they might twerk a little chica too. I ain't saying that. You feel me? What I am saying is that ain't what it's all about. That's like a 16th or like an eighth, not even an eighth. That's like a 16th of a moment in everything that we see. Oh, and shout out to Married to Medicine. My show is coming back. Married to Medicine is coming back. Let's go. And guess what? Guess who they added? Phaedra from Atlanta Housewives. Baby, it's finna turn up. It's finna turn up. I want to, you know who I want to see who's going to get along? I want to see if Phaedra and Dr. Heavenly are going to get along. And I'm going to tell you why. Not because they both got big mouths physically, but because they both got big mouths. I'm just saying. And they be saying some real sharp stuff. And Dr. Heavenly don't think before she speaks. But Phaedra, she is calculated before she speaks. So for me, I'm like, let's get ready to rumble. Let's get ready to rumble. And I'm here for all the shade and everything. Okay, I'm here for the palm trees. Yes, I'm here for the palm trees. And I want to see how further Dr. Simone and Dr. Jackie's friendship has grown, because that was a scary season when they weren't friends. I ain't gonna hold you. I was scared that they were gonna cancel the show because Simone and Jackie were not friends. I was scared because this is one of the first all black cast reality shows where a majority of them are doctors, either the wives or the husbands. And you see their successes and their growth and their arguments and their, you know, the moments to still get along when they need to get along, how to be emotionally intelligent in an environment where you really just want to go off and check this chick. You know what I'm saying? Like, it showed that, and I'm glad Bravo was the flagship for that, because really at the time when Married to Medicine came out, you only had like the Atlanta Housewives, you had Potomac was out, right? And of course you have VH1, but that ain't VH. Yeah, VH1 is like, let me go back to where I started. Let me go back to my humble beginnings. I'm gonna go visit my old house. Okay, that probably went a little bit too far.
I think a lot of us perceive love and marriage as a lot to do with domestication. And when it boils right down to it, there's a wild part to us that really wants to show itself within each other, within ourselves, and be surrounded by such things.
Thank you for that. Look, I agree with that. Hold on. I'm changing this up. Because now, finna talk about Zatima. We just gonna keep this whole love relationship thing going, okay? I don't know. Maybe it's in the air. I have no idea. All I know is that we just gonna keep this thing going because I'm looking at my list. I'm like, let me just slide right on in to talking about Zatima. And oh, dang it, Tammy left. Gosh darn it, Tammy left. Okay, all right. What up, Mars? What it do? What up, brother Chuck? What it do? Okay, so look. Zatima is a spinoff series from Sisters, okay? And Zatima is, of course, a collaborative name for Fatima and Zach. All right. One of the most beautiful couples right now on TV. I don't care what show you watch. This is one of the most functional couples, even though they are not together right now. I feel like it's still one of the most functionals because they get to the root of the problem. They figure it out. They can talk to each other with sincerity and authority and not be like, oh, you hurt my feelings. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you already understand the assignment that I'm not coming to purposely hurt you. You know, even though they are now in this moment where they did have that little moment where like, I'm gonna hurt you to hurt me. And like, you know, letting the other one think that the other one slept with somebody else. Like that is just, like that part I don't like, but you know, they working through it. All I'm saying is like, I love this couple and I love the comedy of it all. And just how like, okay, Zach's friends, well, what is Zach's, dang it. See, this is why I got to write stuff down. Okay. So Zach got two friends. I know one of them name is Tony. But the other one, oh, he a loose cannon. He is absolute loose cannon because, you know, there's always like, I call him Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Okay. So the one who be cheating on his wife, sleeping with the prostitute next door and all this other kind of stuff. Of course, that's Tweedledum. And then you got Tweedledee. He got a little sense, you know, a little bit, but not all the way there because, you know, they're hanging out with Tweedledum. But they boys from back in the day. So I get it. You feel me? That's your brother. So, just the dynamic of how those three friends, what I'd like about them being on camera is just the honesty with a brotherhood like that. And I think that's also important to see because they hold each other accountable, you know, and that's not always the case in some settings when you have an all black cast, right? Whether scripted or not, sometimes that's not always the case. And I appreciated that. For real, that it was even written in there. Now, I ain't gonna hold you. I low-key feel like this is a sidebar. This ain't got nothing to do with, you know, necessarily the characters. It's about the writing. I need to look that up before I even make this comment. Because what I don't know is that is Zatima a Tyler Perry production? Because it's giving not. It's giving not. And I'm going to tell you why. Because, but I could be absolutely wrong. But the reason why is because the conversation flows like a real conversation, you know, and Tyler Perry's series for the most part don't really do that. Even his 30-minute series, like he had For Better or Worse, that was slow. It was like, whereas with Zatima, it's like, you know, real time, real action kind of a thing. So I don't even think this is a Tyler Perry production. I think this is just, it is a Tyler Perry production. This is Tyler Perry's Zatima. So I feel like he ain't writing it though. I don't think he's writing it. I'm going to look at the credits next time and pay more attention. Because I want to see if it's going to say written, produced, directed and all of that by Tyler Perry. Because if that's the case, then where has all of this quality been at this entire time? Because the Oval needs to pick up the country pace. I'm just saying. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Back to Zatima. So the three friends, Zach and his two friends, I like their dynamic. I think it's pretty cool. It's almost like watching barbershop talk outside on a regular basis and seeing all that go on, and it's the accountability in the last episode that I saw where Zach is holding Tweedledum's foot to the fire of, your wife beat you with a bat. Your wife beat you with a bat. You sleeping with the prostitute next door and you sleeping on Tony's couch. So it's kind of like, is your life really going the way that you say is good? Don't sound like it. When you say it out loud like that, yeah, nah. So I like that, so can we just talk about Zach going to therapy? Amazing. Yes. Here for it. Similar to what I said about about Brandon taking his mama to therapy. Love it. All I'm saying is more Black people seeing these type of images on screen make it more, make it, indoctrinate us to make that be a regular norm. I did not mean to hit the mic like that. So seeing that in real time, I think is important because we see everything else, and I ain't gonna hold you. Shout out to Carlos King once again, because we saw that happen on Real Housewives of Atlanta. No, Huntsville. So going back to Zach and Zach going to therapy, seeing him do that, even though he may not have liked how it came about, he saw the benefits of it to the point where he mentions it to Tweedledum. You know what I mean? And seeing him cry like that, what's his name? DeVale, however you pronounce his name. That man is an amazing actor, and I need him to get an Emmy. He deserves to get an Emmy next year. No cap. Listen, if they put his name on the ballot, I ain't never been about, I ain't never just sat and watched the Emmys like that. But I will root for this dude. Because I have not seen in a long time, whether scripted or not, a Black man act that out, but it just felt so real. And it felt so real because there's a lot of Black men, and there's a lot of people in the world, in the Black community, that go through that, and they need to talk about it. And what Zatima did was made that okay to do, and make it okay to do, not just to bring your family to therapy, but then he had Fatima come. Not even though the doctor invited Fatima, I'm glad she loved Zach enough to even go. And she did what being a supportive woman is supposed to do. She didn't interject. She did what? She sat there silently listening and receiving and absorbing what Zach had to go through as a child and what he's experiencing right now as an adult. You know how deep that is? I'm just saying, stop looking at these shows where it's just like, oh, I'm just entertained. No, it's deeper than that. These images are not regular images on screen. And what sucks is this, the fact that you gotta pay to see it because it's on BET Plus. You have to buy BET Plus. Well, unless, you got other avenues. All I'm saying is that it's unfortunate that it's not available for everyone to see it. That, I think, is the only downfall of that. But back to the show. I thought that was amazing. I'm glad that they, that was done in the fashion that it was done. So yeah, there's that. Now, when it comes to Fatima and Angela, baby, everybody gotta have that one bestie, okay? That ride or die bestie. Now, we all knew Belinda was trash, okay? And for y'all who don't know who Belinda is, let me enlighten you. Belinda is the frenemy, okay? She is the secret hater that be in everybody's friend group, okay? Where they, you got something, you live in a life that maybe they low-key or envy of. You know what I'm saying? They want just a little bit. They don't want a lot of bit, just a little bit, just to make them feel validated and important and be seen. You know what I'm saying? But they ain't able to do that on their own. So they want to, take away some of the light and throw some shade and, a little slick oil on the street for you to slip inside and go all over the place. You feel me? So this is what Belinda did, though, trifling heifer. So Belinda made up, and the fact that her name is even Belinda, because when I hear that name, that ain't the type of girl I'm looking at. So, but that sounded so bad, but I meant it. So here's the thing. Belinda made up a fake account of Fatima so that Zach, who she was trying to hit on, okay, and trying to jump bones on, okay, she wanted Zach and Fatima to break up. Now, you talk about thirsty, baby, that girl was the Las Vegas desert at that stage of the game. Like, you went out of your way to do that. And it was the fact that she boldly lied and was like, no, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I think it's definitely horrible when someone does something bad and then they try to justify it or move the goalpost or want to argue technicalities on their behavior. But when you bold-faced lie and say, no, I didn't do it, and then when your hand really do get caught in the cookie jar, you want to say, oh, somebody snitched on me about putting my hand in the cookie jar. Wait, what? Wait, why? You went through all of that for what? And still didn't get the result that you desired. Like, you got to watch out for them kind of people, man. For real, for real. So Belinda was exited out of the situation, a long time ago. But Angela and Fatima, now listen, it was when Angela low-key was like, girl, I don't know what you getting ready to do, but I know what I'm getting ready to do. You gonna need to find something to do. And what Fatima say? Oh, I got my headphones. I ain't gonna hear nothing. I'm good. So I just, you gotta have that kind of a friend where you really can just say any and everything. Now, I ain't gonna hold you. This part right here where Angela wanted to ask about the comparison between Zach and what's the dude name that Fatima was with? Dang, I can't remember his name right now. It just left me. But when she said, what's the peen difference? Like, who bigger? I was like, why do you want to know? Wait, what? Now, I've always been told that you don't tell certain things you don't share everything. So I don't know if I even, this is just me. I don't think I would even provide that information. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't mad at what Fatima said, though. I ain't mad at her answer.
I'm gonna try to leave this message to see if it's gonna work. My stereo been acting for the past couple of days because my phone memory is full.
Hey, check yourself. Yep, it works. Oh, and then just FYI, y'all, the music that you are now listening to, because we transitioned out of Pluto Poly, so now this is the instrumentals from your 310 play.
Yes, it let me leave a message. E. Reed, I really wish you would have waited to do this episode at least till later when people could watch the episode and we can really talk about it. E. Reed, come on. You know people gotta go to work. God damn it, Reed.
Okay, I got you. Like, now you got a whole week. Because it's a new week. What's today, Wednesday? I think new episodes come out on Wednesdays. So see, look, we're going to start brand new. Clean slate.
Oh my God, you wait till I get home. I'm uploading all of these pictures off my phone onto my computer so I can have some space and I can leave messages. I swear I hope you're still talking about Fatima.
Well, okay, how about we just do this? How about we just do a panel show and we can just sit up here and talk about Fatima? How about we just do that? I won't be able to do it tonight. But maybe, if you got time, I don't know, maybe Friday, because I don't think I'm doing anything Friday. Because tonight is Ladies First over there on Station Head. Make sure y'all pull up. So yeah, there's that. So, but yeah, we could just talk about it. Look, I'm here for it. Listen, I've been trying to get Butler and Tammy up on talking about this show, but I don't know. They don't want to sit with me. I don't know. No, I'm just playing. They do. I did not mean they did not put it out there like that. You feel me? But shout out to Submissive Tammy and Butler, aka the Joneses, the winners of the Stereo Battle Royale. But yeah, I mean, I think it would be a dope conversation for all of us because y'all two are married. I was married, but I'm currently single. You see what I'm saying? So I think it would be a good show. I think it would be. I think that would be good.
Oh yeah, shout out to 3010 boy, man. I'm glad he getting that exposure. That guy talented,
Yeah.
man. Yo, after just listening to a very stressful show, it is a pleasure to hear such a soothing voice, man. Do your thing. I'm locked in.
What up, Coast to Ghost? Congratulations on your back-to-back wins. See, listen, that's why I'm telling y'all. You see all these names I'm just, spitting out here. This is why you got to download Stereo, Android or iPhone, make your avatar, and follow all the people that I'm mentioning. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're all in this room, like right now. So, yeah, there's that. Yeah, listen. Understand this. Anytime I got a room open, like, we ain't nothing rah-rah going on in here. Ain't never nothing rah going on in here. No, like the way my ear frequency is set up, I can't do that all the time.
That definitely works for me. Me and my friends have a watch party tonight, so I definitely will be watching tonight's episode tonight. So anytime after tonight is good.
Okay, wait. So we would have to like really time it though, only because I think you 3 hours ahead of me. And so we do ladies first at 4:00 my time, which is 7:00 Eastern. And we go until like 10:00 Eastern. So if it's like after 10:00, if you still be up, cause I don't want you to be all tired and stuff. You feel me? Like, you gotta get your beauty sleep. Gotta go work. What up, Mars?
What's up, Reed? What's the team on? Is that on Netflix? Let me know. Good to hear your voice.
Thank you. Now, what else is research? Nah, it's on BET Plus. Yeah, you got BET. I think BET Plus like $5 though. I think it's $5. Is it $5 or $10? I don't know. All I know is that it's on BET Plus. And it's a good show. It is. Postmaster.
Hey, Reed. I hope
Buddy
you're having a
J.
good day. Been doing wine. I've been down here for a while, but I just came from the hospital and I had to get my medicine. And
no.
hospital medicine ain't the fucking same. I just want to tell y'all that. I've been high as fuck all day and just not high. I just been high off of medicine. Damn, I feel better. I'm not in pain, but shit. I'm down here listening to you.
Well, I'm glad you like feeling, not in pain. So, but you sure ain't never lie. Like the medicine is not the same.
If you're talking about Friday, I'll be up. I mean, I'll be on tequila, but I'll be up.
All right, well, just let me know if you want to do it tonight or if you want to do it on Friday. Because as of right now, there's nothing on my schedule. However, asterisk, that is subject to change. I'm just saying. So, because y'all know at this point how my family is. It be last minute like, hey, you want to go here? Let's go. So, yeah. But I'm so here for it. I want to talk about Satima. I don't have nobody to talk about it with. So I talk about it to myself. Like I'll be here for it. It's the fact that I feel like I'm getting Christmas twice because they're only 30-minute episodes, but they play each, both episodes. So it's like you getting two things instead of one, it almost says something different. You get two shows instead of one long show. So yeah. Okay. So the other thing about Zatima, okay, so it discussed, Zach and his friends, and of course the dynamic between Angela and her friend, and the friend who ain't a friend, Belinda. Okay. So about the rest of the characters and everything, I love how the mom and dad are seeing um Zatima for the couple that they are. And I appreciated just how supportive that they're being, and how the stepdad is like a true G though. Like, hey, the way he talked to Zach and gave Zach that man to man talk, I was here for that. I really was. I was here for that. Um, what else? Was my favorite moments. Oh, can we talk about how Zach got on stage at the open mic and started singing to Fatima, and how he was crying and don't nobody know it but me. Like he was doing all of the boohooing every night on the show. It was so cute. And I feel like it was a moment where, like, if you were watching an 80s movie, it's the scene in the 80s rom-com movie where the guy is outside with the boombox playing music like, baby, come back to me. I'm sorry. So it was given that. And I thought it was adorable. It's unfortunate that Fatima left, but I understood why she left. Oh, wait a minute. Pause on that. Can we talk about how Fatima was with old boy? I can't remember dude's name for nothing right now. So if you can give me the name of the dude that she woke up in the bed with, and they had a whole waiting to exhale moment of, we just gonna lay here with our clothes on. Like, if you can give me the name of that dude, I can't remember his name. But saying all that to say, just the fact that that Zach went up there and he sang that song to Fatima. Now, when Fatima got up there, baby, look, I was up here like, hold on. I was up here singing with her. She didn't even know we was doing a duet. She ain't even know. She ain't even know. But we was, and she has an amazing voice. I hope she has music. I want to find out if she does, because if she does, I want to support it. If this was their um uh diving board moment to show us that Fatima can sing, and she's throwing her hat in the music arena, and she's gonna come out with a project, baby, it was brilliant. And I'm hoping that that's what we gonna get. Oh, y'all talking for real. Look, y'all not finna give me none.
I love that. But I didn't love how he was trying to slip his number to the hoe next door.
You know what? That part. Because he was ready.
I also liked how that wasn't a lip sync or a voiceover. I like how he actually let Zach sing. He's not a singer, but it just made it more real for me.
Yes. That's why, and it was the way he channels emotion. I don't know. I would love to see an interview, or me interview him and ask him, where do you pull that emotion from? Like, where? Because it be like, them be crocodile tears. Those be crocodile tears. I'll be like, how, Sway? What?
I don't know his name either. We just call him the other nigga. I don't know his name. He was like, look, I know my worth too, though, shorty. I mean, I'm gonna try, but not for long.
Okay, wait. I'm gonna touch on that.
Oh, girl, but that sex scene before she woke up with Zach. Ooh, baby.
Man, listen. Okay, so to touch on old boy though, when they woke up with the whole waiting to exhale love scene, where we just gonna lay here with our clothes on kind of a situation, and he over there like, you want me to massage your shoulders or whatever he was saying. Now look, here's my thing. You can't sit here in my face one night, right? Because remember when they was on the episode when they was sitting on the couch talking, you can't sit up here and tell me one night where I'm telling you I don't want to take advantage of you. I am in a state right now emotionally where I don't want to do that to you because it wouldn't be right. You fine as all get out. You gorgeous. I want to. It's just not the right timing. She says this to him. And what does he say? I don't care. I know you using me. You can use me. You don't get to tell me that to my face. And then later, you didn't tell me, well, this ain't gonna last too much longer. I didn't ask you to be here. I told you you could go. You chose to stay. So now you don't get to gaslight me into then being like, oh, like I asked you to be here. That's not how none of this works. No, honey. That's not how none of this works. You're not gonna do me like that. Listen, the scriptures say there's always a ram in the bush. That's what scriptures say. Okay? With in other words, in carnal meaning, that means there's always a way out. There's always a way out. You know, in joke parable format, God sends 3 boats to a drowning man. The drowning man don't want each of the boat because he say God gonna save him, and the man ends up drowning. And he says to God when he gets to heaven, "Why you didn't save me?" And God says, "I sent you 3 boats." Listen, no, you don't get to do that. No, wrong. Exit stage left. No, I didn't like that scene. I did not like how he pulled that card and made it seem like he was above it all. No, you're not above it all, because when I gave you the opportunity to leave, you stayed. So you get what you get. That means you do care. So care about yourself more than you care about getting between my legs and go be happy. Yeah. But nah, you're not finna make me the gift and the curse. No. That's not, no.
I love when she got up on the stage and she sung that Alicia Keys song. She sounded fucking good.
Amazing.
Zach ass need to fucking stop. He get on my nerves trying to sing. Not know how to sing. Damn it, look at that song. Lord. Sounding terrible. And that bitch Belinda. I knew she did that shit. She's so fucking stupid.
She is.
It's so fucking messy on this show, but I love it. I love the mess. If you have a show, I'll definitely hop on next time you talk about this, because I do like this show.
Okay, well, boom, there we go. Me, you, and Check It So.
No, I respected that though, because it's like, damn, Fatima, I mean, I get where you're at right now. I just need you to know that I know I'm a good man too. So while I do still want to be here with you, I'm also not going to take this forever, you know? So I actually respected that conversation from him.
I get it. However, my thing was this. That for me, that would fit perfectly if that's what her intention was the whole time. But she started it off before they even got that far by saying, "I don't want to use you." And he said, "I don't mind being used." And then wants to say, "Yeah, but you're not finna keep using me." Now, if that was a man doing that to a woman, it'd be a whole different argument. I'm not saying from you specifically, but I feel like it would be a whole other situation where he's like, you know, especially if he's saying like, "Look, I just want a casual thing. I want to chill." She like, "Okay, cool. I just want to chill too." Then she start developing feelings. Now she starts spazzing out of no reason. And, you know, at some point, you know, he probably gave her away. I like, "Hey, you know, I said I just wanted to chill." And I don't know. To me, that's just man talk of, I don't want no, you know, strings attached. You know? And I don't think Fatima wanted strings to begin with. I think he was really supposed to just be a happy distraction, which he volunteered, you know, very wantingly. I don't know if that's even a word, but like to be. But I do appreciate if that was the case, if her intention was to just keep him on the hook until she get over it, then yeah, absolutely. Because those conversations do need to happen. and a man or a woman, but specifically a man, yeah, you better stand on that. Because women definitely do that. Oh, well, I'm just finna, use you until he feel better. Like, that's the old play in the book all the time. You feel me? It even happens in cartoons. When you think about it, it happens in cartoons on certain shows or certain tween shows or whatever. They try to make the other one jealous by being with the other one. Like, I get it. It sucks. But I guess that's like kind of typical. Well, some typical relationships, not, well, that would take away from being typical. So I guess that would just be some relationships that's more the norm than it ever would be, Because it's like, why should that be the norm? And that's what I appreciate about this show, because I feel like this show breaks through those normalcies that we're just accustomed to seeing on screen when it comes to dysfunctional relationships and what the healing journey looks like, what being a supportive partner looks like, what understanding your partner and the pathology of how they got to be where they are, instead of just looking at where they're at in the moment that they are with you and thinking that that's who they are only as a person. That one does not go with the other. No. Oh, and shout out to Ghost. So we transitioned out of 310 Boy, and now this is Ghost. Some of y'all know him, some of y'all don't, but I'm pretty sure everybody in here knows him. So yeah.
In the sky, give us the sun back. Yo, listen, this fun fact. Yo, the strap will not work if you don't service it. That's gun fact. Too many fakes, they mix in with a scumbag. Too many fakes, they mix in with a scumbag. Yeah, antics. Self-love. Can't say you love nobody when you do not love yourself. So many rams up in the mind.
Look at the timing of it all. That song is self-love, okay? And that's what I feel like Fatima shows, is the people who love themselves and they are setting boundaries on what they're willing to do and what they're not willing to do. Because if anything, that is definitely what that guy said. What y'all call him? That other nigga? That's definitely what he did in that moment, was he set boundaries. Fatima, she sets boundaries. Zach sets boundaries. Like when, okay, just to take it to sisters real quick, when Fatima busted into Karen's house and she, was threatening Karen and everything like that. And Zach told Fatima, like, nah, you was wrong for that. You can't be doing that. I'm gonna need you to stop, basically stop acting a fool, just like when he busted her for slamming old girl up against the locker at the gym. It's just certain things where in this series they definitely show you how to set healthy boundaries, even with Zach with his mom at therapy and his brother. He let the boundaries set in that moment when they chose to leave after they got the money. He already knew how the game was. He already knew what the cycle was going to be, which is why he had the money already set and available. But it was important for him to verbalize the boundary so that they know moving forward what kind of Zach they going to get or not get. And that's important for him. It's kind of like how people talk about forgiveness. Forgiveness isn't for the other person, it's for you. So is setting boundaries. Setting boundaries is for you. Not just to be petty and just to be spiteful and just to make it seem like you got the upper hand and you got the authority over the situation because your feelings is hurt. Like, nah. It's to really just make sure everybody understands the situation. No different than anybody who goes to a job and you get that big handbook or a little one, whichever one the job want to give you, and they give you the terms and conditions and the policies and the procedures and all this other stuff. Those are the boundaries. Now, whether you cross, color outside those lines, that's on you, but then there's consequences to that. And if you don't like the consequences, don't cross the boundary, period. But everybody ain't able to comprehend that. So that's why I'm here to break it down to show to let the people know, let the world know, that there are shows on television that actually break the generational curses of what we see image wise on television and in movies. Like they are here. So from here on out, just because even talking about this show, if anybody you ever hear say, oh, well, black people don't have this and black people don't got that and we don't have this and we don't do this, tell them it's a lie. Go watch Zatima and you'll be proven wrong. What up, Pooh?
Yow. Blanket, Duvea,
Yes.
Reed. What are you doing? You know I just be coming in here to say your full government name. I hope you're doing good, E. Reed. Shouts to you. Shouts to everybody in the basement. Hope you're having a wonderful day. I am not. Fuck this job. I'm getting off early. Just because I want to. Fuck this shit. Yeah, shout to y'all. Like I said, I hope y'all continue to enjoy y'all day. I ain't want nothing else.
What up, Pooh? Wait, hold on. I gotta hear that first part again because I was running my mouth.
Yow. Blanket, Duvea, Reed.
It's the Duvea, because that's what I thought I heard you say. Yo. Okay, wait, hold on.
Excuse me, but doesn't it seem like people are setting boundaries when they say God, he's this and God, he's that and all the other things, when it's could be looked at as the gods? They live, die, and multiply. And they're just an endless amount of I don't know what the word is. Thinking too hard, but
It's okay. It's okay. I don't know if that's necessarily a boundary when people say that. More of it just being a statement. You know, I mean, one could argue that the word is a boundary in depending on how it's used in context. One could say that, like, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, yeah. So I guess it just depends on the situation, right? Because boundaries is important at the end of the day, either way it go, you know? And that's why I like this show because it does that. And what's crazy is even before Zatima was birthed, we saw Zach and Fatima doing that on Sisters, especially with Crazy Karen. Oh, that lady, I still don't think she's pregnant. I think she lost the baby.
well, it could be a statement, but it's a way of thinking too, because you set limits as God, he's this, and it gets to be like male chauvinism. Everybody leans to the male figure.
Oh, okay. I see where you're going with it. Okay, I understand which context and what you're using it now. So yes, that could be a thing. Yes, absolutely. And that would be a better fit. What is oh my gosh, I'm trying to think of a show. Well, matter of fact, the show that I just talked about, Love and Marriage Detroit, because the husband, what's the boy name? I just said, gosh darn it, not Anthony, not Brandon, the other one, Russell. Russell's a pastor. So a lot of where, like, for a prime example, there was a scene in the season where because Brandon called Kobe a Kobe cat, right? And he said, look, so this is after the whole situation, and the men had to sit down. Okay. The men had a gathering, all right, amongst one another to check, check in with things because Russell wasn't rocking with Brandon after he said that. Like, you're not going to talk to my wife that way because after Brandon said what he said to Kobe, in front of everyone and was the only husband who interjected into a two women conversation, right? He told Brandon, don't talk to my wife like that. Yeah, we gonna stop that. We done with that. That's it. And that was the last time they had spoken until they did the meetup. Now at the meetup, which is bringing me to the point of what you just said, at the meetup, uh, Russell told Brandon that if I wasn't saved, I would have decked you in your mouth. So yeah. So yes, in context and what you're speaking, that definitely would fit. Absolutely. Yep. That's yeah. That would fit. Um So the other thing that I like about Zatima and just how the layout is definitely how fast paced it is. I think Tyler definitely did a good job at picking up the country pace with Sisters because if you watch the first couple seasons, it is kind of like slow running. You know what I'm saying? However, like he picked up the country pace with it, and I'm here for it. He like it ain't no Shakari Richardson or nothing, but it definitely ain't like slow poke Joe. You dig? So there's that. Um, so yeah, I like Check Yourself said she's gonna watch the episodes tonight. So, they come on Wednesdays or whatever and just enjoy. And it's in season 2. Now, one thing I will say about Tyler, which is always I don't know where this format comes from, but it is now the new norm when it comes to formatting seasons where the seasons where they do it in 2 parts. So kind of like how I started with Money Heist, right? Like for the last season of Money Heist, they gave us 5 episodes and then they waited like a month and a half or so or a month before they gave us the second half. And so that's what a lot of these series are starting to do. So when it comes to, the Tyler Perry shows, it'd be like, it could be 26 episodes, right? It could be 26 episodes as half a year, but he'll split up those 26 episodes. You feel me? So you'll get 13 and 13. That kind of a thing. So yeah, because that's who else does that? I just mentioned his name, Carlos King. He does it. So like I said, you know how Love and Marriage Huntsville is coming back, right? Like I'm so here for it. It's gonna be juicy. It's gonna be juicy, and I love it. I'm here for all the shade. I told you I love palm tree.
Zatima is done so much better than Sisters. So much better. It picks up the pace so fast. The storyline is better. Even the dialogue is 1,000 times better on Zatima.
Yes, absolutely. Drink some water. Absolutely. I don't like this microphone. I'm gonna have to fix my other one because I really don't like this one. So if my sound keeps sounding like it's fading in and out or I sound like different or whatever, it's because I keep moving this microphone around because I'm not used to it. You have to hold it in a certain position so your voice picks up. Whereas with my other one, it don't matter. So it might be my cord.
My point of view is how I look at things is that the gods live, die, and multiply. And if living and dying wasn't important, then there wouldn't be such a thing.
Oh, okay. Well, shout out to your belief system. You feel me? Because everyone should have one. And speaking of having something, this is Dean Martin, aka Ron J, that we listening to right now with the song "I Ain't Being Toxic," which I feel like was definitely fitting to have played while we was talking about Zatima. Because I think that's the momentum of the show is they don't want to be toxic towards one another, given that the experience they've had prior to them have been just that. So they show us something different. All right, so that is Zatima. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna move on to. Should I talk about? Oh man, see, I'm not gonna have enough time. Well, I could make time for it. Okay, so we're gonna talk about this other show because money is always important. And I just like this show, and it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. Listen to
I
Steve
love you
Martin.
when you love I, and I'm her moon, and she my sky. When the shit go boom, I'ma hit my guys. We gon' hit that plane, we gon' touch that sky. I take the happy. You can keep that fame shit, but I'll take the money. Promise I won't do no lame shit. Always with my same clique, staying with my main bitch. And my advice to all you niggas, you should do the same shit. My life, my life, my life, my life. My life, my life, my life, my life. My life in the sunshine, in the sunshine. Please don't touch my life, my life, my life, my life. My life, my life, my life, my life. My life in the sunshine, in the sunshine. I got my mind on my money, I ain't talking about no paycheck. Yeah, it's Junkie Gems Entertainment. Doing what I'm doing, whether rapping or I'm singing. Either way, I'ma bring in so much on the brain. Tired of the lanes that be getting in the way. They don't show me love, they just try to show me hate. Go behind the back, they don't show it to my face. And that's okay, cause I'm just me, it's Junkie Dave. I'm on my way, get on the wave, out my way. I got some things I got to say, cause I've been waiting all my life. Now it's finally about to pay off. Became my own boss, ain't got no time for no layoffs. Put in too much time to let it fade off. The way I see it, tough times to show you what you made of. Make sure the ones around you are focused on elevating.
Many people think of the afterlife, and that's because of their concept of dreams. They believe they've experienced instances where they have loved ones that have passed away, and they dream at different things, and they have expectations of their dreams. Don't kid yourself that the pharaohs and such a thing and afterlife, that's a little bit beyond what's really happening, because dreaming is very important to us and is just as complex as our daily life is. Sleeping dreams are very important, and it's something that we should all strive for.
Ooh, I watched Money Heist. Nairobi was my absolute favorite.
Absolutely. Look, I love Nairobi. I loved it. I love her. She was definitely my favorite. Tokyo was cool. Oh, I forgot I turned the mic around. Tokyo was cool, like, because she was the main character and all that kind of stuff. But Nairobi, though, Nairobi and Berlin, Bella Ciao, like, oh my God, like, I'm just saying, that was my ish. And yes, and it's funny you mentioned dreams, okay? Because Zach had a very weird dream. Just to close out with Zach, we're going to close out with this. To close out the team before we move on to Billions over there on Showtime, okay? Zach's dream that he had, and he answered the phone to Bryce calling him, was weird. And I'm going to need them to not just skip over that. It was absolutely weird. And it's giving me vibes of they're leading up to something that I don't think I'm going to be ready for. Because some things you can't unsee, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to put that there. We're going to put a pin right there until, the next 2 episodes that air tonight. And of course, like I say, Binge and Rewind's new season for Stereo is back on. So I will be back next Wednesday, same time and all of that. You feel me? Well, let me say this. I'm going to be on the same day. It may not necessarily be the same time because I don't know. I feel like 11 o'clock my time might be actually too late, and I might need to move it up an hour. You feel me? Because I'm going to take my time versus feeling like I need to be rushed. You feel me? So, because what I do know is this. As many people sidebar to content creators, okay? What I do know is this. Anyone who's like really just projects out to you or tells you like, oh, your content is too long, At the end of the day, you can do whatever you want to do with your content. If people will sit in audio rooms for 8 to 10 hours, which is a full work shift, and not skip a beat, trust me, someone will sit there and watch your 4 hour or listen to your 4 hour podcast. They will do it. Even if they do it in doses, they will do it. So there's that. Do not be discouraged with long content. It is what it is, especially if your message is, if your mission is being accomplished in the process. Do you at the end of the day. That's all I got for that. Moving on. Eddie
Yo, that shit was wild. I was like, Tyler, don't do this. Don't take Zach that direction. Do not make
Don't.
Zach gay. Like, what the fuck you mean? No, this is Bryce. No, it's not. Ew, no.
Yeah, I was scared. I was ready to run for the hills. I wasn't prepared for that at all. I was prepared for it to be in like, the hood chick with the braids or something. That's where I was at with it. Okay, so hold on, let me finish playing these out.
I've studied dreams for the last 23, 24 years, and I know the subject very well. I've experienced just about every type of dream a person.
Oh, okay, that's what's up.
Dreams are a personal thing. Like, we can share our dreams, what we dream about, but interpreting another person's dreams is just like trying to read one's mind. It's impossible to read your mind because of all the different senses that we use and all the different senses that are being presented to us at that time. And I lost my focus of what I wanted to say, but dreams is really good.
Absolutely. They most definitely are. Look, it's a lot of movies about dreams, okay? And they all have a good point. They all have some kind of a message. I will say that. The craziest dream movie that I saw though was Inception. That movie was weird. It still takes me a little minute or whatever. But yeah, dreams is wonderful. I like dissecting my dreams. But moving on to Billions. Okay, so Billions is on Showtime. It's in its last season. It is in season 4. And it basically is a gritty story about how politics and the finance world are strange bedfellows, and how a lot of things that are shown to us or shared to us, from the news media on how something happened, that ain't how it happened. Okay, it's because it was a backdoor deal, and this is how this came to be. But they won't tell us that part because those are, that's just a minor detail to the whole grand scheme of it all. Okay, so let me just, if you haven't seen it, you have a man named Axelrod and you have a man named Chuck Rhodes. This all starts off with these two main characters. Chuck Rhodes is the U.S. District Attorney for the state of New York, and Axelrod is a billionaire, and the way he made his money was by way of a foundation fund that he had after 9/11. Okay, and some people don't like the practices and the strategies that he used to become a billionaire, but nonetheless he became a billionaire, and he uses a lot of what he does in his tactics and everything that sometimes can cross the line and push the legality of it all back a little bit, kind of bend the rules of it all. Shout out to Bend the Rules here on Stereo. It's he does that, and Chuck Rhodes don't like that. And on top of that, Chuck Rhodes' wife Wendy also works for Axelrod, okay? And her position is she's what's considered a encouragement coach for corporations, like a corporation success coach, right? So she is a psychology doctor, and what she does is she, let's say you having a bad day at work and you just can't seem to break through, being able to, like, you looking at the screen and it's just looking like the Matrix on you. Okay, it ain't making no sense. It just looked like a bunch of numbers on a page. Well, her job is to have you talk to her, and she challenges you to break through that blockage so that you can go and be the best performer to earn this money. Okay, because they're dealing with billions of dollars. Like, this ain't no small feat. So anyway, uh, Wendy and Axelrod, because they work so closely together, there's an intimacy there that Chuck can't tap into, because Chuck and Wendy's intimacy starts to fade. So there's that dynamic. Now, mind you, Axelrod at the time, he was married, but his wife understood the situation and her position, and eventually she faded out to black because really she just wasn't with the program, so she ends up leaving or whatever. So then you have the whole throuple situation going on when it comes to Wendy and Axel and Chuck. All right. So that just adds fuel to Chuck's fire to going after Axelrod. So not only on top of, okay, I feel like you schemed thousands of New Yorkers out of this money to become a billionaire, and your practices are shady practices. I want to go after you, and the fact that my wife like you, I'm gonna go after you. So it became very personal. So instead of Chuck sticking to the plan and his legal ways of handling things, he kind of crossed the line and actually pulled an Axelrod move and started doing some shady, dirty dealings that started to blow back in his face or whatever. And there's always this cat and mouse thing going on between Axel and Chuck on, by the end of the season, who's going to be the winner. Okay. And now, mind you, I'm just giving you the perimeter of this show. This is just the perimeter of the show. And you have the key players that work for Axelrod. They are their own dynamic of a storyline, because there are several people that work in this bullpen, and they are some of the smartest people on in the financing world. Okay. And the way that they are able to still be somewhat normal. So basically it's kind of like, imagine what's that show? Um oh my god, Big Bang Theory. Okay. Imagine the characters from Big Bang Theory in the financing world, and they having their own conversation. That's basically what that is. That's basically that's basically what's going on. So, saying all that to say, there's a whole bunch of little comedy and quirks and stuff that goes on, but I also feel like that's the human side of the show, because other parts of the show is so rigid that the human side are like the kids in the playpen on the playground or in the sandbox right there. And they come from all different walks of life, men, women, rich, richer, you know what I'm saying? Like, young, old. It's a great dynamic. Okay. So fast forward the tape to now, we done seen Axel and Chuck chase each other around the block. All right. Pop going the weasel. All right. One of them always wins, one of them always loses. But they live. They live to fight another day, until Michael Prince shows up. And Michael Prince is like, oh, this is cute. This is nice. Okay. I like what you got going here, but I'm going to do something different. I don't like it. So not only do I not like it, and I know I could do it better, I'm going to take it from you and show you how I could do it better. And that's what he does with Axelrod. So everything that Axelrod built up, Michael Prince came in like Hurricane Katrina and wiped all of that out and took it. And it's the imagery that you see. So put it like this: if you understand chess, if you understand Shakespeare, and this is why I say Shakespeare, because I know that I was like, wait, what? Chess? And then you say Shakespeare. Here's why: because of the dialogue. So Shakespeare has a rhythm. Okay, there's a rhythm to Shakespeare. It's not just Johnny walked the cat. There's several words to harmonize Johnny walking the cat. All right. If that makes sense. If you catching what I'm throwing, great. If you not, hit me in my DM and I'll try and break it down another way. All I'm saying is is that there's a rhythm to the dialogue when it comes to Billions, and you can catch the beat of the rhythm. Especially one of my favorite scenes of this show are when the two main characters are having a one-on-one verbal combat, because it's like watching a fencing match, like on guard, like all of that. Like that's really what it looked like. And then they use certain terminologies that I know for a fact you ain't ever heard of before. You probably ain't even heard of that word. You probably never even heard of that historical reference. Like there's things that happen in this show where I'm like, hold on, pause. What does that word mean? Wait, well, who is that? You know? And you learn something from this show. So you're not even just being entertained, you're being educated if you are open-minded enough to even receive that type of information. I guess that's a good way to put it, And so what did I say? I said Shakespeare, if you understand chess, and if you understand human behavior. Because really, that's all Wall Street does. They bank and swap money out based on our behavior. How we shop, what we watch, what we don't watch, what we don't buy. All of that plays into it. All of it. All of that plays into it. So it's kind of like watching this show is like watching a moving symphony. I don't know. I don't know. No, well, no, watching this show is like watching the ballet. And I say the ballet because you know how ballet dancers are very graceful and they're very smooth and they're very strict with their lines. They're very conscious and aware of their body movements and their body parts and where they go and everything. And that's what this show is. And that's why I feel like it's an important show and why I like to review it and why I do watch parties. So make sure you tap in when I do the watch parties. So even if you're not able, and that's the other thing, it can be background noise. You don't necessarily have to watch it to know who the players are and to get an understanding. You really don't. And if you are interested in watching the series after everything I just got through saying, then like I said, there's 4 seasons. You don't like to really get a grip of everything. I would, watch it from season 1. But if you just want to pick up where it's at right now and get an understanding, you could pick it up on season 3. You can start watching season 3 and then go backwards if you want to. If you're that kind of a viewer. Some people are, some people not. But that's the way I would describe Billions when it comes to the flow of it, right? Okay, so now that Michael Prince has entered into the picture and he's like, oh, this is nice what you got going on here. Like, this is great, but you know what? I could do it better. Watch this. And that's basically what he does. So he ends up sending Axelrod off running, okay? And now Axelrod is somewhere in London doing his thing and, look, I'm not going to use that word. One clown didn't stop no show. Okay, I'm going to use that word. One clown didn't stop no show. So Axelrod is great. And they're trying to bring Axelrod back into the fold. Wendy Wags, which is Axelrod's, ace, his best friend, his right-hand man, and oh my goodness, I can't not remember this chick's name. I'm going to look it up right now. But the fact that Wags and Wendy and the other young lady, they are now in cahoots to try to get Michael Prince out. Why? Because not only have they've seen in real time how Michael Prince can be just as shady, but just under the legal radar of being shady and getting away with it, how dangerous he is. And how much of a danger he is because he feels like he's untouchable. And he can do anything regardless of anyone or anything. He wants to be president. And Wendy's like, yeah, nah, we not finna do that. So Wendy, Wags, and old girl are looking to do, come together and get Michael Prince out and block his ability to become president. Which apparently, like what we see in episode 1 of this season, something worked because he got mad. Now we're trying to figure out, why did he get mad? That's where we're at with it. So Michael Prince wants to become president. They don't want him to become president. Those three are the only ones who knows what's going on and how they're going to try to take down Michael Prince from the inside out. Michael Prince is so focused on what he wants, right? He's missing opportunities where he could pick up that something is going on. There is something stirring in the kitchen, but I don't know who's making it. I don't know what pot it's in. I don't know who got the spoon. I don't know any of that. So he's not even picking up on it. And he just gave power to Wags. He just gave power to Wags, which is dangerous considering Wags just tried to pull a move under Wendy's nose to try to get Michael Prince in trouble with the law and also, jack up his name so that he would be too embarrassed to run for the presidency. Okay, so that's where we at. All right. What else can I say about this show right now? Because I'm not here to dissect each episode, but really just to give a premise on what's going on and then kind of catch you up, but make it make sense so that you can actually go check it out. Like, it's worth it. Like, you'll be hooked no later than episode 3. By the time you get to episode 3, you're going to want to know what else happens. And just all the different moving pieces and parts. Like, here's an even better example for you bookheads out there, for you readers out there. Shout out to the readers. If you've ever read or listened to the audiobook, The Art of War, you'll love Billions. You'll love it. Absolutely. I'm just saying. You would absolutely love it. Okay, so that's it for Billions. I'm gonna definitely have more when the season is over, right? And I'm gonna really be able to dissect it. But we're in the middle of the season, so for any other like live reaction commentary, you just gotta pull up on me when I do the watch parties. So make sure you are following me. You are hitting the notification button. Your notifications are on, so you get and know when I'm on. Now, let's say you want your notifications off. All right. If you a person like me and your phone be on D&D heavy, or your phone be on silent heavy, or you turn your notifications off for certain apps heavy, then just DM me and let me know you want me to send you the link of when I go live. And I will personally send you the link. I'm not a big active person when it comes to just sending my link to any and everybody. I'm just going to click, 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 click. I don't do that. I think it can be a little invasive. So I would rather ask for permission and be allowed if this is what you want versus me spamming your account. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just deleted a whole bunch of spam out of my email this morning. So there's that. All right. So here is Junkie Dave. This playlist is on shuffle. So that way, if you missed any music, you could just hear it again. Feel me? I'm going to change the title. Move on to the next. Since we're talking about Billions, I'm going to keep it political. And we're going to talk about Jack Ryan. So while I'm changing out the title, y'all can listen to Junkie Dave.
I'm a junkie for you. I'm a junkie for you. I'm a junkie for you. You need a rub down, so you call me over. I lay your body down, start at the shoulders. Kissing on your neck while moving down your back. It's about that time I don't know how to act. Feeling on your booty, please forgive me if I bite it. Juicy like a burger, oh you know it's how I like it. Know I get excited, ain't no way that I can hide it. Looking like a snack and I'm a junkie for your munchies. How about that? Throw it back, nice and slow, that's a fact. Make it clap for me, baby, just like that. Yeah, you know what I like, what I want. Got me feeling for your love and your touch. I'm a junkie for that junk that's in your trunk, baby. I'm a junkie. Bust it down and I get. I'm a junkie. I'm a junkie.
Shout out to Junkie Dave, though. I'm telling Junkie Dave stay in my rotation.
Dreams are our intuition triggered by our five senses in the environment in which we are sleeping, experiencing past, present, and anticipations of the future.
You are absolutely right. And let me tell you about Jack Ryan's dream. Jack Ryan's dream over there on Amazon Prime, he had a dream too. And his dream was that the CIA was no longer going to be seen as the bad guys of the government. Okay. Because he found out in this last season, okay. Oh, you know what? I just thought about it. I think Billions is in season 7. I'm sorry. I need to correct myself. I believe Billions is in season 7 or 8. And Jack Ryan is in season 4. And it's last season. It just ended its last season. I had to, because I was like, wait a minute. I don't think Billions has been on for longer than 4 years. So yeah, there's that. So I'm glad I had to correct myself on that one. Now, Jack Ryan works for the CIA, and at one point he was an active op. Okay, so he was the the one doing all the dealings, doing the grunt work, all that kind of stuff. Well, he got elevated into a higher position after his last op. All right, and he got elevated into I think he was like the co-director or something like that. And there were some senators, okay, that didn't like that because he was getting in the way of their dream of manipulating cartels and the triads in order to place America in a very compromising position. Okay? They didn't like Jack Ryan trying to stomp on their dreams. You know what I'm saying? So what Jack Ryan does was he steps down from the co-director CIA position, right? And the young lady who was working with him, okay, she is the acting like main director of the CIA, and she's waiting for confirmation. Now, in this interim of waiting for confirmation, she wants to back up Jack because she believes what Jack wants to do. She wants to back up any play that he feels is the right thing because he's earned it. He has earned her trust. And although he may not like some of his, daring ways of like, I'm finna challenge, I'm finna be on some final destination challenge to see who gonna live or die. I'm willing to put my life on the line for the land, she still backs him up on it, and because of that, it puts her in a compromising position with who? Those same senators who got big dreams to want to destroy and, profit off destruction. All right. So you have one of the triad leaders or trying to be a leader. So let's say he's a leader in waiting. All right. So he finds out, like, he starts putting himself in position with the leader or whatever, because now he's like the right hand. And he wants to oversee some of these operations and the dealings that they're going to do with the cartels down over there in Mexico. All right. And what ends up happening is you have the leader in waiting being shunned out by the leader because he doesn't feel like he can do it. And the leader in waiting, what we learned to find out and why he was being so secretive with his family, right? And why he was trying to protect his family so bad is because the leader of the triads, he's cutthroat, ruthless, Al Capone, don't matter. Valentine Massacre kind of a guy. Okay? That's him. Now, he's not like that. He wants to be more diplomatic. He wants to be able to get things done where there don't have to be no bloodshed. Okay? He's on some Lucky Luciano kind of hype. But he ain't a killer, but don't push him kind of a thing. You know? And here you have the cartels, you know, they were getting shut down one by one and were fighting amongst each other. So what the US senators was figuring out was like, hey, they beefing over here, you know. So while they beefing over here, we gonna send out an ops team, an assassin team to take out certain people. So it looked like this cartel took out that cartel. So that way we can minimize it to like one cartel that's already in bed with us. Because then we going to get the triad in bed with us. And then we going to make all of this happen. More destruction. So let's just say, based on what the senators was in cahoots with, 9/11 would have been in like several different places. Okay? That's what would have happened. Everything would have just went boom. All right? And Jack Ryan caught heed to this because the leader of the assassin team that was getting contracted out, all right, played by Michael Pena, shout out to him, love him. He partnered up with Jack Ryan and they figured it out and they did their own little maneuvering op situation and they stopped the threat. Not only did they stop the threat, but then they got down to the root of the threat and how the U.S. senators was involved and how the one U.S. senator who was all in the face of Jack Ryan and the young lady who did end up being confirmed as the director of the CIA and trying to tell her she need to play nice. She just needs to do this. You need to follow suit of what we telling you to do or you're not going to be suited for your job. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. What they end up finding out was that the senator is the one who signed off on everything that was set into motion. And the way Jack Ryan clapped back at this senator was amazing. It is something that I feel like a lot of us Americans would love to see on C-SPAN. Yeah. You know, when they be doing the hearings and stuff, I feel like a lot of us would benefit from that. It'd be great TV. But too bad it was a scripted series. But all I'm saying is that Jack Ryan had dreams. The senators had dreams. The terrorist, the chick, she had a dream. You know, the triad leader, he had a dream. Everybody got dreams, you know, and some dreams just don't come true.
Billions could be a good thing if that's what you're striving for, but if you're striving to live the life that you were intended to live with all the capabilities and abilities that's in the realm of our possibilities, then billions might not be in the mainstay of what you're striving for. Like myself, I would like to go to Africa, live there, and fulfill my abilities to live the life that I believe that I can live.
That part. And you know, with that being said, let me just break this down. I appreciate all of that. Cause you right. Cause look, if that ain't meant for you, it ain't meant for you. All I know is that show Billions is meant for me. Last message.
One strives to live a life of, say, living a life of, let me see, I gotta say this properly. Being a part of the army of life without technology. Technology is just an imitation of life, and sometimes we consume ourselves with technology, and that's all we think is technology, when The life that lives around us is what we should strive for in the environment in which we were intended to live.
And that's a good point. And it's about balance, I think, at the end of the day, kind of like how you have the balance of Chuck and, um, you know, Chuck Rhodes and Axelrod, and now Chuck Rhodes and Prince. You have a balance, of cat and mouse, good and evil. There's that. Then you have the balance of Zach and Fatima. You feel me? Which makes what? Zatima. And then you have the balance of love and marriage, right? And then you have the balance of the dreams that Jack Ryan and those people wanted to live, and they didn't, because Jack Ryan, he succeeded in his dream, and he got exactly what he wanted, and did exactly what he set out to do. And Jack Ryan, okay, so even though I'm probably like romanticizing this and all of that, let me explain something to you. If you like special op shows, if you like political shows, if you like fast action, if you like guns, I if you like bullet scenes and fire action scenes and all that kind of, SEAL Team 6 or whatever, then watch Jack Ryan series. It's a moderate pace. So you can always, it's like a good book that you can put down, pick back up. Put down, pick back up. It's one of those type of series. And you could definitely use it no, you can't use it for background noise. You have to watch it. So let's say you just ain't got nothing else to do. You know what I'm saying? You just relaxing, you chilling, Jack Ryan, if that's your genre, that would be perfect for it. So with that being said, we have hit the I gotta go mark, because it's a short day today and I have to go back on mommy duty. All right. So this is why I said I'm gonna move the show up an hour. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to have to feel rushed to leave. And I gotta go. This was a great show. And I appreciate y'all pulling up. Yeah, that. I ain't got bars. I ain't no rapper. But I be trying though. I'm cute. That's all that count. So this is Benja Rewind. I will be back next week, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna move it up an hour earlier and move it to 10 a.m. Pacific time, which makes it 12 p.m. 10 a.m. Pacific time, 12 p.m. Central time, and that will be 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That way, if I go over the 2-hour mark, it is perfectly fine. I don't have to feel rushed or anything like that. And if I do feel like it's going to be a longer show, I'll go on at 9 o'clock. But there will always be a description and letting you guys know of what that looks like. All right. So at the end of the day, if it's a scheduled show, read the description. Follow the hashtag, like all that good stuff. And if you are listening to me on these other platforms, y'all heard all the conversation and the commentary that was going on throughout the show. The people who came through, those I shouted out, the music that played in the background. This is the Stereo community. So all I'm saying is like, what are you waiting for? Download the Stereo app, Android or iPhone, make your avatar, decorate it, look cute. Or if you don't want to use the avatar, put up a little picture or something. Put up a picture. You can use pictures now. You can use Bitmoji, whatever you want to do. Use that, decorate it. Follow me, E-Reed, aka Melanin Seduction, and then follow everybody that I mentioned in this show, whether it was in the music or in the comments. This is the Stereo community, and this is where I do the show live at, when it comes to this version. So I'm going to talk to y'all later. Thank you for pulling up. Check yourself. I'm going to hit you up so we can move forward. Coast to Ghost, shout out to you for pulling up. I appreciate you. I think this is your first time in Benja Rewind. I'm not sure. If it's not, welcome back. If it is, welcome. Crazy Crow, shout out to you. I know this is your first time in any of my spaces, so, or at least that I know of, but I know it's for, Benja Rewind. Shout out to you. Daddy G, shout out to you. Thank you for pulling up. Miss Postmaster, look, you already know what it is. You are Miss Support Her for a reason. So there's that. I know you gonna pull up on me. And check yourself. I know you's gonna pull up on me. So I'm here for it. I look forward to the conversation and talking about Zatima. But I'm gonna get up out of here. I'll be back later. Y'all have a good one. Have a wonderful Wednesday and Thursday, depending on what time of the world you in or whatever day it is and when you heard this. And I'm going to talk to y'all later. Bye.